All right, we're back. So I missed the last sentence. It's for a state-owned company. They can issue shares to individuals that can buy on the platform of JSE. Just one quick question: if you have to tell me how do you pay the directors, because we know the profit is shared between the shareholders, what do you pay the directors? They get a salary. All right. And most of them can qualify for a lucky bonus if there's growth year on year. That's why they pay the big bucks. All right. Now we're going to start with a non-profit, which is a bit different. So this company's goal is not to make a profit. It's there for public benefit. It should be there to render a social service. They are not there to make a profit. Where do they get their capital from? It is from donations and foreign funding, right? They have to go and ask for money. That means the money that they get, they can only use for the company. Remember, it's a registered company, so let's add these things quickly. It's a registered, it's a legal entity, correct? That means there's a formal, they have to register. Why? They need to be able to give people tax certificates so that once they donate it, they can receive the tax deduction, which is to their benefit, right? The name requirements, the name must end with NPC, non-profit company. You have to be registered with the Register of Companies with the MOI in order to be exempt from tax, because this is one of the biggest things. When you are registered for an NPC, they don't charge you tax. You don't pay tax. There's zero tax. But you must then prove that all your profit is used for the business and it's not paid as in benefits or bonuses to the members or to the directors. You can pay their salaries, but there's no shareholders, right? The owner, the ownership structure, there's directors and they carry it, but they receive a salary. There's no shares. All right. I hope this makes sense. So let's add, they've got the owner is it can be the directors. Same thing with the manager. I don't know if there's a requirement of minimum of how many, but yes, the risk, there's actually a minor risk in a non-profit because it's not about money, it's about rendering service. They can only not render the service anymore. Profit, there's no sharing of profit. It must all be used for the business. All right. Continuity, the business can continue to exist. Why? Because the legal entity. The liability is limited. Why? Because it's a legal entity. There is audits. The business statements must be audited. Why? Because they have a tax clearance. They are exempt from paying tax. The government wants to audit to see, hey, listen, where's that profit? Did you really spend it on the people, or are you actually making money? Personal interest, no, they actually have a public interest. And remember, they're not about making profit, so there's no personal interest, but it's looking out for others. And decision making, again, it's a lengthy process because there's multiple stakeholders involved. If you think just about community members, you'll see it. All right, I think I've covered most of it. Check the impact of non-profit companies, the advantages and disadvantages. One thing, for example, is they can use extra. Let's say there's money that was left over, all right? They can use that for the primary company purpose, right? To expand it, to say, listen, we've got 100,000 rand extra after the year. Let's expand this project so that we can reach more. That's acceptable. But they can't say, hey, let's split 100K between the four of us. That's not fine. All right. So, yeah, you can go through that, and I think that should be fine. All right. Next video, we'll cover the last one.